It is super early morning, but I just thought I'd come on and do a little intro. I am off to the Woolly Good gathering in Edinburgh very, very soon. Mona's picking me up from the taxi anytime, and then we're gonna head and get the train to Edinburgh. So hopefully I'll get some good footage. I've packed my knitting, of course. I have packed, as I said in my podcast, I have packed my underlace top and my scrap bucket, and let's see if I actually get any done, if I get time, because we are going to be super busy. The sun's shining and I'm very excited. When you're on the train to a knitting show and you need a beginning of round marker, oh, look what your knitting friend makes. So we've just arrived back at the hotel. It's about 3:30. So we're just going to get changed, have a little rest, and I thought I'd show you around the room. Absolutely beautiful room. Lovely seats for knitting there for anyone else who wants a suggestion of where to stop if you come next year. In a moment I will flip the camera around and show you what I've got so far. Okay, I'm really hoping that you can see me now. I'm just in the hotel room and I've just got the camera propped up somewhere where I could do it and just sat on the floor, because I just wanted to talk to you about the first day. We travelled down on the train this morning and did some knitting, and I'll just show you my progress so far. I'll just get it out of my bag, sorry. So when we're on the train, I was knitting on my underlace top, and I'll show you, I hope you can see. Ramona, and we still didn't go back 20 stalls and look, but I'd forgotten to bring any progress keepers. I cannot believe it. I didn't bring any notions of any sorts. So Mona made me a temporary beginning of round marker so I could use that to mark my progress, and that's what I get done in the on the train journey down. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 8 rows, which wasn't too bad because this is a 30 stitch gauge, this top. Well, mine is a 30 stitch gauge, so each row does take quite some time. That was just under 300 stitches on there now. And our train journey was about 2 hours 20. And then while we were, I've not got a progress keeper in this in my bag, but this is the other project I've brought with me. And I'd just done the pearl bump, which is the edge of the base of the bag, and so I've knit most of these rounds today while we were sat outside in the chill out area. So we got to the festival around 11 o'clock, and we went to one of the cafes and just had a coffee while we waited, and then we queued up to go in the show. And yeah, it was really, really good. It's spread out over a few rooms and a few floors, which means it's quite good because it's not too crowded. I've bought all sorts of stuff. I met the lovely lady who does these yarns, which was well, lady and man who does this yarn, and they were complimenting me on the top. I bought loads of yarn, but I'll probably just show you that when I get home. But I'll just show you, I did get a couple of project bags which I've just got at the top here, and I'll give you a sneak peek and show you these. I got this little beautiful one, pink with feathers, and that's from So Yarnylicious. Lovely handle on, it's like a little sock project bag. And then I got this one, which I thought was lovely, a bit unusual, and you can put your arm through this one and have it hooked over. I just liked the colour of that one. Like I say, I have got quite a few yarns, a few sweater quantities, but what I want to do is wait until I get home, and then I can record in proper lighting and show you what I've got so far. I think what I've got today is probably going to be, I won't be getting much more, but who knows, because we've got time in the morning to go into the show again. And I want to see if I can find some progress keepers, because I didn't find any today. Hello and good morning. It is day 2 of the Woolly Good Gathering and I'm just about to head down for breakfast. Today I'm wearing my Tolster tee with the minis, made with the minis that I got in my Lay Family Spring Valentine's box. I absolutely love the fit and the feel of this t-shirt. I was off gauge, so I did have to make a few modifications, but I thought this might be quite a good one to wear, because when you're inside it can get a bit warm in the rooms. Like I say, we're off for breakfast, then we're going to head back to the Woolly Good Gathering. It opens at 9 AM today, and we're going to get a last few bits, and then we've got a lunch meet up with a group of knitters, so that's going to be really nice, get to meet everybody. And I think that's all I really wanted to say. Yesterday was really successful. Oh, last night we went to the I can't think of the words. Tired, you see, because we did lots of walking around the show yesterday, and it was a very busy day. Fun but busy. And last night we went to the social, and at the social it was lovely. We had a harp player, or harpist, if that's what they're called, which was lovely, playing in the background when we were all chatting and knitting. And then we had a comedian stroke singer, and she was really wonderful, very funny. And then we had some bingo, and there was prizes, and it was just a really fun few hours. And then we got an early night, being that we know we've got more walking to do today, and then we've got the train to catch back around 4 o'clock this afternoon. So I'll update you later. Okay, I'm back home now, and from the Woolly Good Gathering, and you'll have seen all the footage that I took prior to this clip you're seeing now. I hope you like what you saw. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to get much footage of the stalls at all. It just totally slipped our minds. We were going to do it on day 2, which was the Saturday, because we thought the Saturday may well be a bit quieter. But when we actually got up on the Saturday morning, we realised that the train we were hoping to get at 4 PM back to Preston was cancelled. So we were a little bit worried that we wouldn't get a seat or get on the train back, and we didn't want to end up on the bus. So we were planning to meet up with a few knitters in a cafe for lunch on the Saturday, but unfortunately we were unable to go to that because we had to go and get the train, and we ended up getting the 12 o'clock train back. So that sort of threw a spanner in the works and meant that we forgot to film the stall footage that we were expecting to get on the Saturday morning. We just literally went to the show, got the last couple of bits that we wanted to get, did the last little look around and headed straight to the train station because we just wanted to make sure that we were able to get back that day, as we didn't have a hotel booked for the next night because we weren't expecting to stay. Just was a shame that we didn't get to go for lunch with the other knitters, but maybe we'll get to do that if we go next year. So like I say, we didn't have any stall footage, but you'll have seen everything that I've put together, and I hope that's given you a bit of a taste and a flavour of how the weekend was. It was a really, really social event, which I really enjoyed. There was an outside area where you could sit down. They tried not to have the rooms too crowded, and there was quite a big space in each of the rooms where the stalls were laid out around the outside. There was quite a big space in the centre where you could walk, so even if the stall was crowded, you could back away into the centre of the room to get space, or you could go out into the corridor. There was plenty of places on site. Outside there was lots of benches, and it was lovely and sunny on the Friday, so we ended up having time to sit and knit, which was fantastic. There was loads of people knitting, obviously, and we saw lots of lovely knitted garments. Loads of podcasters were there, which was nice. I met Ode from Bobbles and Berries. She was so friendly. And I met Marlene and Vinicia very, very briefly as they were at the festival together. That was on the Friday, I think. They were coming out of the dye workshop. And then we did actually manage to see Marlene on the Sunday, and just before we were leaving, and we got to have a good chat with her, and I was able to obviously give our apologies for not being able to go to the meal. It was lovely to talk to her. She was super friendly, just as she comes across on screen, which was nice. Just a shame I didn't get more chance to speak to Finglish, but maybe that'll happen in the future. Who else did I meet? Oh, I also met Helen from Giddy Yarns, which is nice, because a lot of these people, you talk to them online, and it's just, it's nice to meet them in person. And I think that's everyone. I hope I've not missed anybody, but they're the main ones that I can. Oh, and I did meet the dyer behind the Wool Chemist, and which is not a dyer that I'd really knew much about before. I'd heard my friend Mona speak about it, and obviously from the previous footage you'll know that she does exist. I know I talk about her a lot, but she is a real person. I don't make her up. So that talking of the Wool Chemist, that leads me into I'll talk about the skeins that I got from her stall. She had some wonderful colours, a massive variety of colours, which was nice. I would say there's probably something for everyone on her stall. I got, so I'm going to start showing you what I've got. I've got it all laid out on the table here. And what I think I'll do is I'll show you the single skeins first, and then I will show you the sweater or top quantities that I got. And then I will read through a few of the pattern ideas that I've been looking at on Ravelry, but they're not anything set in stone. Apart from one, all the others I'll decide when I come to actually knit with the yarn, but I have got some potential ideas. If I show you the single skeins first, I think that will be the easiest thing to do. I did go with a plan. And I did save up for, as soon as I booked the tickets for the festival, which I think was in December, I started saving money because I knew that it was going to be quite a cost, and I knew that there'd be quite a few dyers, sellers that I wouldn't normally get to see because it is, ones from around the Scotland area. And, you know, they're not close to me, and I don't have a lot of yarn stores near to me that sell this sort of yarn. So I wanted to be able to go and feel the yarn in person, see the colours, and be able to buy what I wanted, basically. I probably have got enough yarn now in my stash to probably last me about 5 years, but and it's not really doing much good for my in and out, but I am trying my best to be very, very accurate with tracking my ins and outs this year, because that will give me an idea of going to 2 festivals and the quantity of yarn I've bought, if that's a quantity of yarn that I'm going to get through, because I don't have much storage space. I've got one cupboard in my lounge that I mainly put my yarn in, and I don't want it to get really out of hand. That being said, let's start with the first one, and this is from the Wool Chemist. I got 3 single skeins from the Wool Chemist, and one was for my partner for either socks or a hat, or he wants some fingerless mittens. So, and he loves knitted socks, and I've only done 1 pair for him so far, so I knew that I could look out potentially for colours that he would like for single skeins, because I didn't really want to buy as many single skeins this time. My plan was to go in and buy sweaters quantities. I don't know if I said that before, I think I went on a tangent. So I knew that might be more costly, but I knew that that would be what I would be able to use and would make garments for in my wardrobe, which is what I want to be doing really. I've got lots of single skeins and I didn't want to buy too many. I didn't mind getting a few for sock tubes or for socks or other garments like that, but yeah, I really was focused on buying top or sweater quantities. Okay, so this first one from the Wool Chemist is a lovely purple, no surprises there. It's a sock set, so it's 100 grams with a 20 gram mini. It is the basic sock 4-ply sock set, 75% merino and 25% nylon, and it's 400 meters in that skein, and it's called the Way of Water. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but obviously that's an Avatar reference, which I absolutely love Avatar. So this one's probably going to be for a lovely pair of socks for me, but again, I've not decided yet, but the colour's just absolutely beautiful. I'm just going to chuck everything down on the floor here next to me as I'm going along, just so I know what I've shown you. The next one, and I can actually tell the difference from that sock set to this one, because this is so lush. This is one for my partner. He loves his greens and browns and mustards, and this is 85% superwash merino wool and 15% nylon, and it is so surprising the difference in texture from that first skein to this, just with that bit, you know, the merino. Lovely. And that's 400 meters in 100 grams, and it's Eowyn. I think that's how you pronounce it, Eowyn, presuming that's a Scottish word. Maybe wrong with that. And this was the first skein that I picked up from the stall, and it was on the bottom shelf, and it just caught my eye, and I sneaked through and got one. That's the Deluxe Sparkle Sock, and that is 80% superwash merino and 15% nylon and 5% gold stellina, 400 meters in 100 grams. And the colourway is Butterfly Orchid, and I absolutely adore that colourway. So beautiful. That will definitely probably be some socks for me, but I could change my mind before I cast on. Okay, the next yarn that I want to show you is from Yarn Tings, and this just called out to me. I didn't know this was one of those I've got to have that, whatever it is. Now this is 100% Blue Face Leicester, and it's a DK weight, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with one single skein of DK. Maybe you've got some ideas. It's called Plum Tings. Now I didn't know this because I bought this on day one, but this lady who you can see on the picture here, she was the entertainment in the social, one of the entertainments on the social night. She did the singing comedy act. Fantastic voice, a very, very funny lady. Yeah, so that's that one. Okay, the next single skein is For the Love of Yarn, which I got an advent for last year. Now I picked this colourway up because this is just my partner's colours. He absolutely adores these mustards and rusts and browns. Now I didn't know this, I just grabbed the skein. It feels like divine. And this is 100 grams camel silk 50/50 sock. And it's 530 metres per 100 grams. So is that light fingering or lace? I'm not quite sure, but I'll figure that out when I come to use it. Absolutely, this is absolutely divine. Next single skein, this is from my partner, this is from Zakami. This is Silent Serenade, 100% fine merino. 400 metres per 100 grams. Now I was thinking with this one, maybe to do the fingerless mitts. If anyone knows of a good pattern form that's for men and for larger hands, that would be really great. But I was thinking I could definitely use this, and if it's not going to use a lot, I might just hold it double. Because Jay wants some fingerless mitts for when he goes fishing, and it's a bit chilly still. Now, massive apologies, but I cannot remember who I got these minis from. I can picture the lady in my, I can see her face and all that, but I've just no idea. And for some reason, there's no band on this at all to tell me who it's from. These were a bundle of minis that I have bought to put in my blanket. I'm hoping to start doing a stripe a day again, because I really, really would like to get that blanket to a good size by the end of the year. But I do know that I like using all my leftovers in there. It's fantastic. It just, you know, it's a good way to use those. But I also do like a few pops of colour which I wouldn't normally have in garments or items that I make, which is why I thought I'd get this, where I've had the neons or the brighter colours in between all my leftovers. I just think it looks lovely, so that's what I got these for. I did also get another pack of minis, but I'll talk about those at the end because I've already cast them on. So you get a sneak peek in this this vlog of a new cast on. Now I've nearly got to the end of talking about all my single skeins. I don't think I did too bad there. I think I stuck to my my plan. I didn't buy too many. What I did do on the second day is I did go back and get some Jameson Shetland Spindrift. And these come in 25 gram balls. And I'll try and show each one to you. Now my original idea for these was to again put them in my blanket, but since then and with Mona's prompting, I'm wondering whether to use them for something else, but I need to have a bit of a think about that. Because they are 25 grams, I may be able to use them in a small garment. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 6. Now that will give me 120 grams if I use 20 grams out of each of these, and then I'd have 5 grams left over, which may give me enough to do the 2-row repeat on my blanket pattern. So I'll just show you the colours. I don't think, oh, they do have colours on the back where it looks like colour names. Oh yeah, they do. That's quite good, because a lot of these tend to have numbers, don't they? So this is the Shetland Spindrift. Like I say, it is 25 grams. It's 105 metres, so that's a fingering weight yarn. And this is colour 186. And the colour name is Sunset. Next one, there was so many colours to choose from. It was like a wall of colour. It was fantastic. And what I like about these is the colours, but then they've got a rainbow through them. It's lovely. The only thing is, each one of these is around £5. So if you did want to do a sweater, because I mean, I'd love a sweater in this colour. But if you did want to do a sweater, that would possibly get, would it get quite expensive? I don't know. Maybe comparable to a hand-dyed yarn. I'd have to work it out. Because it would make your 100 grams would be around 20. Yeah, so it's going to be similar to a hand-dyed price. The only thing that's put me off this a bit, and why I only got a few of the balls, is because I find this to feel quite rustic and quite dry of a yarn. Now, Mona keeps telling me that it'll feel different once I've blocked it. So if I can make these into a smaller garment, block it, and then see how the fabric turns out, it might be that I can tolerate it against my skin. I don't know, because there is quite a few colours that I like. Okay, so the second colour is colour number 567, and that's Damask. Oh, dropped one, sorry. And the third one is colour number 1300, and that's Aubretia. And this one is colour 153, and that's Wild Violet. And this one is colour 722, and that's Mirage. And the last one is this one, beautiful, colour 180, and that's Mist. As you can see, a lot of them do have the different rainbowy colours going through them, which I find very, very pretty. I mean, if it was a super soft cashmere yarn, you know I'd be loving it. But let's just see how it is when it's blocked. It's nice to have a small selection of those to have a try of. And if you've got any recommendations for patterns of things I could do with those, put them in the comments, because I'd love to try something, maybe a different cowl pattern. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 5 sweater or top quantities of yarn at the show, and I will show you those now. So this one, which is a very, very lovely drapey summer yarn from Zakami. The colourway is called Turkish Delight. It is 50% baby alpaca, 25% linen and 25% silk. So half wool, half alpaca and half summer fabrics. Lovely drape. It is superwash, and it is 400 meters per 100 grams, and it's very, you can't tell because the Zakami have very sturdy bands on their yarns. It's very thick card, which is kind of nearly doubled over on this, but yeah, look, super drapey. But I just thought this one, this lovely peachy colour, would be great for a spring summer neutral. Although the alpaca, it may be a bit warm, who knows, but it doesn't get too hot in the UK. And I actually bought 3 of these, so you can see that one, look. And that gives me 1,200 meters of that yarn. Then I got an unusual and new to me fabric and yarn and dyer. This is from Midwinter Yarns. I got 3 skeins of this. Now this is Lithuanian linen. It's 100% linen and it's a heavy lace weight yarn or light fingering. And it's approximately 450 meters per 100 grams. Now this, I do have a top in mind, a potential top that I'd seen that was a linen yarn, but with this being like a very light fingering lace weight, I'm not sure if it will work for that. But the colour is absolutely lovely and I thought this would be really a different one to try. So I've got 3 of those, which gives me around 1,400 meters, I think. Have you ever knit with 100% linen yarn? It's supposed to soft. The gentleman who was on the stall wearing his lovely Scottish kilt, might I add, he was super friendly and he was talking to us about the yarn and how it softens with wear, because it feels quite, I'd say it feels quite like a very sturdy yarn at the moment. And I can understand why it is a summer fabric, because I don't think it will keep you too warm. But if you've knit anything with 100% linen yarn or you've got any suggestions, that would be great. I'm hoping to do a garment of some sort rather than a shawl. But they did have a fantastic shawl on the stall. I mean, it was very intricate lace, very fine. And yeah, it just softens up over time, he did say. 3 of those. Okay, and this next one, beautifully soft. This is from Ginger Twist, which was very excited. I think this was this to go to. I think this was the first stall that we went to at the show on the Friday. And this is Millions of Peaches. And this is Splendor DK, which is 212 meters per 100 grams. It's 50% superwash merino and 50% silk. Now, the yarn that I got as part of the Kickstarter, which was the, I'm going to say Isla, because I don't know, I still can't pronounce it, even though I met the wonderful lady behind that brand. And she straight away noticed that I had the top on and she was made up with me wearing her yarn. Now, she didn't have the 50-50 base that she dyed the colourway on that I'd made my top in at the actual show, although she does sell it on her website and I will be ordering some in the future. I can imagine that her brand is going to become one of my all-time favourites. Just absolutely beautiful, and the drape is lovely. Anyways, the reason I'm saying all that is because when I saw her on entering the show, she did tell me that she'd seen my post on Instagram and she was really sorry, but she didn't have any of that particular yarn base on her stall. So when I went to the first stall, and it was Ginger Twist, like I said, and I saw that they had this base, which was the 50-50, which had been, although this is DK, the other was fingering, I knew that it was highly likely that I was going to enjoy using this yarn. So I decided to get a top quantity in this for a summer top. Yeah, and this I have got 5 skeins. And I'll just check in here because I've written down in my little notepad here how much that gave me. Let's have a look. Where is it? Okay, yes, so this is Millions of Peaches, the colourway here. Don't know if I've showed you that properly yet because I've been chatting. So I got 5 skeins at 212 metres, so that gives me 1060 metres. So hopefully that means I can get a nice t-shirt out of that for summer. Now, while Ginger Twist, this was the first colourway that I actually bought at the show. I could not resist this. It's a real pop of colour, quite bright for me for clothing, but the colour just, I saw it and it just shone to me. And I thought, yeah, that's going to be my first purchase. I have to get that. And this is Ginger's hand-dyed sheepish sock. The colour is Montrose. And it's 100 grams is 365 metres. So for a fingering weight, it's definitely on the slightly heavier side. It's 80% superwash British Blueface Leicester and 20% nylon. It does say that this yarn is machine washable, which I've never seen on an actual, I don't think I've seen that written on a wool label, a yarn that's a wool, high wool content before, but whether I'll risk it, I don't think I will. Hand wash will be fine. I don't mind putting my socks, my superwash socks through the washer because, you know, on a wool wash, even then I'm taking a big deep breath because, you know, when you spend all that time and money on a hand knitted garment, I really don't want to ruin it. Okay, so I got 3 skeins of this one. I mean, that just screams summer, doesn't it? And goes quite well with my nails, doesn't it, as I went for a bright pop for the show. I don't think I've said on here before, but I am a nail tech and I have been for quite some, nearly 10 years, sorry. I don't always get round to doing my own nails though, you know, as is the case, but these were my show nails. Hope you can see them. Trying to hide my face a bit. Anyways, yes, so I've got 3 skeins of this one, which gives me 1095 metres. For fingering weight, it should be plenty for me to get a top out. Like I say, I managed to get the outline tee out of 200 grams, and I've got 300 of this. Although, yeah, it's slightly heavier fingering. Right, I think I have all but one. Now, I've saved the absolute best to last. Now, as you've heard me raving about my Isla yarn, that was the show yarn that I made the top for, that I'm so proud of, that I managed to wear to the show on the Friday and the day I got to see. Obviously, on my wish list was to get definitely at least 1 sweater's quantity, potentially 2 sweater's quantities from that stall in that yarn base. Now, as I've just said, she told me before I went to the store that there wasn't that base on the stall, but I still knew that I wanted to get a sweater's quantity, and as soon as I got to the stall, a colour just called out to me. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that why, and I'm going to show it you now. Just look at that absolutely stunning lilac-y purple. It's just me all over. And that's a label. Now, this is the Easdale non-superwash yarn. It is 70% baby alpaca and 20% silk and 10% cashmere. It is the softest, loveliest, lightest, drapiest cloud. It's 225 meters per 100 grams, and I got 7 skeins of this, and I absolutely adore it. And I have decided that I would like to try and make a calm down cardigan with that yarn. I think that this will just make a fantastic cardigan, and that means that I'll get a lot more use out of it than just a top, was my idea. So, but yeah, I'm very, very pleased with that purchase. And you know, I get the impression that all her yarns are absolutely beautiful. Definitely if you like, should I say, a very, very soft, non-scratchy, drapey fabric. Now, this might not be quite as sturdy as, because this has got quite a bit of drape in it, compared to the calm down cardigan, it might not, but I still think that it's going to look lovely. And I'm like literally so close to the quantity I need for that, so I might be playing a bit of yarn chicken, but I think I can get away with it. Okay, and I do have a couple of more purchases that are not yarn. I picked up some buttons. Now, I'm hoping that these will be for the cardigan, but I'm not sure until I knit it up if I will like these with that lilac, but I still liked them. I thought I'd get them just in case. And these were from Ginger Twist. And I also got 2 project bags. I got this sock project bag, which was from Sew Yarnilicious, which I did show you in the hotel to give you a little sneak peek. Now, I also showed you this other bag that I've got here. I'll just grab it. I'm just going to take the yarn out of it. Sorry, I should have done that before, just so I don't give you a spoiler of what else I'm going to show you. Okay, so I also picked up this lovely project bag, and it's one of those that you feed through like that, and then you can pop it over your wrist. When I showed you in the hotel room, when I look back at the footage, I realised that I'd cut half the bag off. So hopefully you can see it now. I just like the colour of this one. And what I have been storing in this bag is the last yarn purchase that I made. Well, not last at the show, but last one to show you of my purchases. And this is again from my new favourite brand. 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, 10% cashmere, and it's 4-ply, and these were minis. And I have cast them on. And I have cast on a cowl. I had 5 minis in the set. There's some here. There's a dark grey, which you can see here, and there's another grey. So it was, I can't see which balls are attached here. Oh, I think it's just that one. 1 second. I'll sort myself out so I can show you a bit better. Hopefully you can see it's a 1x1 colour work, and then it's just stockinette with a ribbed edge. It's quite a simple cowl. I wasn't sure when I cast this on, with it being such a drapey, airy fabric, that it was going to be right, but I think once I've made it into the full length, I think it's lovely and stretchy, so I won't have any problems getting it around my neck. I think that it's going to be ultra soft. I know I'm going to have no issues with it against my neck, and I think that it'll just be light, a light layer just to pop around my neck and stop me getting a chill, maybe when I walk the dog or whatever. But I will give you more details on this, and I'll put the pattern up on the screen because I don't think I've got it written down. But I'd seen the pattern for this a while ago, and I was thinking of using some of the Jamesons at first, but then I just knew I had to cast on something with this yarn from from them, because I absolutely love their yarns. It's definitely a new favourite find of mine, if I haven't said that already several times. But yeah, I think this pattern's turning out lovely. The good thing about the 1x1 colour work little sections in between just the stockinette means that it is adding slightly more density and doubling the thickness. Well, not doubling, but you know, making those sections a little bit denser, which I think will just add a little bit extra warmth when I'm wearing this. I think you do about 7 repeats of the pattern as well. So yeah, like I say, I can give you more details on the podcast. Just thought I'd show you, since I've already done a cheeky new cast on, which you knew I would do. Right, so I just wanted to finally talk through a few little patterns before I sign off on this vlog. I've done a little bit of research. I did have some patterns in mind, but I wasn't going with any set ideas, because when you go to a festival, like other than the Islay yarn that I wanted to get the same base, that was strongly in my mind. You can't predict what the sellers are going to have and what you're going to be drawn to. You do need to have a bit of flexibility. Like with that yarn brand, they didn't have the base that I was hoping to get, but I got something else, and I'll be really excited to try out a different base of theirs. Okay, so with the ginger twist being a fingering, there's a couple of tops I've been looking at which are potentials for that, and I'll put the image at the side here so that you can see what patterns I'm talking about. So I've got the Nuss Light, which is by Elizabeth Judith, and I'll put that picture here. That's a lovely a textured summer t-shirt, which I fancy having a go at that, something a bit different. And another textured top, which I happened to see yesterday on Instagram, I think it was, is the Melee blouse by Virtus Decor. And that's again another t-shirt with a different style of texturing. The Nuss Light is in bands, whereas this one is more of a overall pattern. And then potentially I could do with the Zakami the Adventitious, although that is a lace weight pattern. I could also do it with the linen that I've bought, but that would be I'd probably have to hold that with something else. Other options for the linen yarn would be to use it with a cotton or a wool, and to make the top boner by Olga Grishna, or the top sole by Moki Knits. Top sole. And that one is like a little it looks like a little kind of waistcoat style, very, very basic, with a tie at the front. And I thought I could just wear a little vest top underneath that. I probably would have enough yarn, I would hope, to do that one. But I'm not 100% sure if I want to use linen by itself at the moment. With the Ginger Peach, which is this one here, Millions of Peaches, I'm thinking I might attempt to do the Faye Summer Top by Irene Lynn. Now this top is going to be quite challenging for me because it's all over texture, and it's been on it's floaty sleeve, you'll be able to see here on the side, but it has been on my list for some time, and I just feel like that might be the perfect yarn for it. Have you got any of these patterns on your list, or have you made them? Like I say, have you got any suggestions for the yarns that you've seen me showing today? Because it's great having some help picking out picking out what we're going to knit up. And obviously I'll be showing all these on the podcast at some point. God knows how long it'll take me to get to all these yarns. And I have got another yarn festival in September, but hopefully you've enjoyed the vlog. It was my first time doing a outdoor vlog, which was interesting. I am one of these people that I don't like to have my phone out all the time, and I do record on my phone. I do like to enjoy the time spent socialising and with friends, and I do often just forget to record. But I hope you've liked the bits you've seen. Luckily I had my friend Mona there who loves recording, and she was great at getting some good footage for me to add for you all to watch. And hopefully next time when I go to Yarndale, I will actually get some footage of the stalls for you to watch, but it's a while before then. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed watching along, and that you enjoyed knitting while you were watching. Let me know what you've got on the needles at the moment, because I love hearing that. And have a lovely, lovely weekend. Bye for now.